And before we get started, guys, I just want to say, this isn't the biggest crowd we've had. So I respect you guys all coming out today, regardless of the outcome, showing up, the real loyal fans. Believe land.
Those are the real fans.
The real fans.
A lot of fair weather fans.
Not them,
A lot of fair weather fans.
Well, you call them fair weathered.
No.
Maybe they're not fair weathered. Maybe they're just depressed because the inevitable has slapped the living hell out of them.
Well, look,
that is always a possibility.
Look, you're down 0-3.
I'm just saying.
You're down 0-3. Of course, you are likely to get swept, but they were down 3-1 last year and came back. The fair weather fans go away when the going gets rough, and these guys are real fans.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
All right, hell of a game, and we got a huge show coming up. Chauncey Billups is going to be here, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, so much to get in with them, so don't go anywhere. But let's get right into it, gentlemen. So the Warriors are up 3-0, getting a 5-point win at the Q. Kevin Durant comes up huge in the clutch with a game-winning three-pointer in LeBron's face. Meanwhile, LeBron and the Cavs don't score a point in the final 3 minutes. Max, what was your takeaway?
My takeaway is that what LeBron said to start the series is correct. You know, after game one, what happened? What happened is that's a 73-win team that they had to claw to get back in, and things had to go their way. Steph came in physically compromised, and Draymond got suspended a game, and they were down 3-1 and had the greatest comeback in the history of the NBA to come all the way back on a team that was going to be crowned the greatest ever and eke out on the road a Game 7 win in maybe certainly one of the greatest sporting events I've ever seen. History of American team sports. Just an amazing thing. And then that team went out and added Kevin Durant. I mean, so LeBron's like, yeah, man, we got our work cut out. And at a certain point, you can stack the talent so high that even LeBron James can only do so much. That's my takeaway.
Bad LeBron or good Durant?
Well, first of all, you ain't going to switch the question up for me. I'm going to answer the same question.
That's the real question I wanted him to answer.
What's the takeaway? I got several takeaways. Okay. Number one, there was a very good, if not great, and sensational Kevin Durant. There was a sensational LeBron James for 3 quarters. The 4th quarter was an entirely different matter. That's also a takeaway. A takeaway is that the number 2 player in the world, in my estimation, Kevin Durant, is making us and provoking us to have questions about who should be number 1 when all of this is said and done. And last but not least, it's not because of just his greatness. It's because of some of the things that we're seeing from LeBron. Now, let me say this. I don't want anybody to assume that I don't know how great LeBron James is, how great he has been, how phenomenal he has been overall. But where I'm going to hold LeBron accountable, it's not because of his numbers. The man is averaging, 32, 12, and 10. He's averaging a triple-double. You know what I'm holding against him? The fact that he was the first one to remind us of that. It seems to me that LeBron is more in tune and on point with his numbers than most of us are. To me, that's not what winners do. I don't hear winners and I don't hear champions talking about what they're averaging.
In case you haven't noticed, they're not going to win. They're not going to be champions.
Well, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. You say this when it's over. Hold on. There's an entirely different situation when you say something like this, when all is said and done, than when you say this in the throes of competition. Before Game 3 last night, this man was talking about how he's averaging a triple-double. I don't want to hear that. You got a game, you got to win. We got to get it done. I don't want to hear about you averaging a triple-double any more than I wanted to hear LeBron before the series started. Think about this, Max, and I'll give it to you. Think about this. They ramrod through Indiana, Toronto, and then Boston.
East.
And in the no, stay with me, because I'm coming to you. In the immediate aftermath of beating the Boston Celtics, he is asked in the arena, TD Bank Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, he is asked about the Golden State Warriors. And his response was, I don't want to think about that right now. I'm happy, and I don't want to stress myself.
He's in his happy place.
Come on.
Leave him alone.
I'm asking you a question. Then you listen. This is the beauty of you being the #1 boxing analyst in America. I don't see you at pity-pat fights. I see you at the major fights. I see you surrounded by champions all the time. Can you recall a champion that you heard speaking that fashion before the competition? Can you recall?
Michael Spinks before Mike Tyson, maybe.
And what? Okay. And what does that tell you,
Well,
Mr.
right,
91
right,
seconds,
because-
crying in his locker room before the fight?
As I told you yesterday, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, they always want him to move up in weight class because he can whip everyone in his class. Move up, move up, move up. And eventually, you're going to find someone too big, and you're going to get beat. Floyd Mayweather was the best pound-for-pound in the world, right? You want to see him fight Triple G?
No.
Right. Why? Too big.
Too big.
That's what LeBron's up against. Ask me the question he didn't want to answer.
Is this good Durant or bad LeBron?
I want to answer that question. It was great Durant. Great Durant, both ends of the floor, especially in the highest leverage moments where LeBron usually is what I call a high leverage moment player.
Right.
He coasts on defense till you need him, then he locks you down. And that was missing from LeBron's game in the fourth quarter because he was exhausted, because as great as Durant was, it was clearly better LeBron James. LeBron James, they shot the same percentage from the floor.
Hold on, you confused me because I'm confused. I thought you just said it was great Durant.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great
And now you're
Durant.
saying it's clearly better Durant? LeBron?
Well,
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
It's not good
I'm
Durant
confused.
or bad LeBron. It's great Durant and better LeBron.
Greater LeBron.
How is it better LeBron?
Well, first of all, LeBron James has much more to do on his team than Durant has to do on him. That's why LeBron took 27 shots, Durant took 18. They hit at the same percentage. LeBron had more points, more rebounds, more assists, and the most advanced metric, PER, LeBron was 32, Durant was 25.
I see where you're going.
LeBron was better than Durant last night. LeBron was better than everyone last night.
I see where you're going. Those damn numbers games don't play. I don't play that because I watched, just like you watched. I'm not going to lean on those numbers, though, because guess what numbers I'm going to lean on, Max?
Go ahead.
Combined with Kyrie, 1 for 10 in the fourth quarter. Come on now.
Sure.
Let's call it what it is now. I mean, the fact of the matter is that when you look at it from that perspective, you can't ignore that. Listen, LeBron James, do you understand that LeBron James has been outscored 31-11 by Kevin Durant in the fourth quarter?
Right.
I'm not knocking.
High leverage moment.
Kevin Durant, years ago, we all recognized that this dude may go down as the greatest scorer in the history of national. No, we were speculating as to whether or not he could catch Kareem because of how great Kevin Durant is.
Jordan was better
6'11".
scored than both.
I'm just telling you, we've said these things, and not only that, he came into the league so young, et cetera, because the game is softened up. You might play longer. All those things we took into consideration. My only point in saying all of that is to say this: in the end, 31-11. Yeah, the 31 points are expected. 11 in fourth quarters of an NBA Finals. I'm not trying to get on LeBron, but my God, I have an obligation to point it out.
LeBron is falling down to everyone else's level, and on his way down, he's still ahead of everyone else. The high leverage moments at the end of the fourth quarter.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, of course it does.
That does
27 shots to 18, more assists, more rebounds, higher PR. What that means is LeBron has much more to do than Kevin Durant throughout the game. Why is that? Because the Golden State Warriors have a better supporting cast, way better supporting cast than the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is why that supporting cast, the Warriors supporting cast by Kevin Durant, was good enough to win 73 games and almost beat the Cavs. Just the supporting cast.
But wait a minute, Max. You asked Molly to ask the question.
Yeah.
You said, what was the question? She said, good Durant or bad LeBron? You said good Durant, better Durant.
Great Durant, better than LeBron. Better LeBron.
Great Durant, better LeBron.
I recall the question being good and bad, not great and greater. You changed the question.
Damn right.
So all I'm saying to you is this: that's not answering the question.
It is.
At some point,
it's not bad LeBron, but it's good Durant. It's better than LeBron.